Step number 4 is contrast and clarity. And that really consists of two different sliders, the obvious contrast slider, but also the clarity slider. What contrast does, and you'll see this in a second, we've done a pretty good job of making this photo more compelling. However, would you believe me if I told you that this photo is flat and gray, which is common to a raw photo? And so you always have to add some contrast and clarity. How much? It's salt and pepper to taste. Just slide the sliders until they look ridiculous to you and pull them back. But it'll probably be more than you think. Now, one of the other things we're going to show you is these sliders don't work independently of each other. Once you make an adjustment, you may have to go back to some sliders that you had previously set and tweak them a little depending on the results, because contrast is going to change your brightest bright and your darkest dark. That's how we're going to get it to punch it up a little bit, but that may affect our highlights and shadows. So let's start with the contrast slider right here and pull that way over. That's probably a little bit much, but let's look at before and after. See how gray and lackluster the photo was? So let me pull this back. I think about right there, the plus 71. So let's look at this. Look at that color on the beak. Look at the overall clarity of the photo. Now let's go down to our clarity slider. Now that clarity slider deals mostly with the mid-tone contrast, and it is especially great for detail in your photos. So remember that I worked a lot on the detail here and the detail in the wing. So we want to punch that up a little bit. Let's push the clarity up. Okay, I like it like that. Let's look at, especially watch the areas, the details in the feathers. Before, after, before, after. It looks like someone took some Windex to a window and really clarified this photo. But right here, I'm getting a little too much highlights because the contrast and clarity does change those. So let's go back to our highlights, bring that down to retrieve. There we go, retrieve some of the detail in there. The wing got a little dark too, so I'm going to hit the shadows a touch, also open up the shadows a bit. There. Okay, now let's do our before and after. That was the photo before, and here's the photo after. Quite a bit of difference. One of the things I think you'll find out over time, after you have a coherent strategy of adjusting these sliders, you will be able to look at photos and say, oh, that has a color cast, or that doesn't have enough contrast in it, that doesn't have enough detail in it, because it's just a matter of experience starting to slide these things and see the effect on photos, where you'll start to say, even in the field, this is how I'm going to process the photo. Okay, we're going to go to step 5, and that is going to be targeted adjustments.